We want to help Rami, and we want to help people like Rami. That they're about the age of 30-ish, they use computers, they use their smartphones, and they want to have a fun day. They have a birthday or an anniversary, or they want to spend time with their kids, and they just don't know what to do. Today, they just Google what to do in my anniversary, and they get thousands of results, restaurants and places to go and hotels and many, many different things, and you just can't decide. What we want to do is help you get a fun day with just one click. You answer very simple questions, and you get a full package of a fun day, which is based on recommendation of our reporters. And the important things, we already have this content on our website, and we just need a better way to give it to the readers. And because now it's just going to, you can't find it. It just goes to Google, and we want to help you find the recommendation of our experts. How do we do it? 3 simple questions, and we get the fun days. Let's start. Okay, we have this. What's the occasion? Which is the anniversary. You need my beautiful assistant who's helping me. How many people? Probably 2. I don't know. Where do you want to go? We want to go to south of Israel. And then we get our fun day, and the route on the maps, it is based on Google Maps. We have, first of all, breakfast in Arad, then a guided tour in the desert, and we finish the day in Herod's Dead Sea, spending all of our money. How do we do this? We also get, in Google, we have this card that gives us all the information, the picture and the information of the place, and also the recommendation of our journalists. How do we do that? You told the whole story. No, but how do we do this? Yeah, this. We use fusion tables to categorize the content that we already have. If we have like this recommendation about a hotel, like for example, we write how much money it costs, for whom is it suitable, other categories, the place where it is, what it is close to, the map will give us, and then by checking the boxes, you just get the route and the fun day that you wanted to. And this is it. Yeah. Live happily ever after.
Questions?
You said you just have 3 questions, and the first question was, what's the occasion? The other one is how many people, and then the next one was
the area in Israel.
But I'm guessing that
in the end there will be more questions. We started by because price and age and things like that. We needed more variables, and we didn't quite know how to do it. But at the end, it's supposed to give you how much the day will cost you, and how to.
It will fit exactly to what
you can order everything.
You get the whole package from beginning to end with the price, with the exact attractions you want to visit.
So the basis of it is that you've effectively got pieces of information, if you will, within your database.
Yeah.
Somebody wrote about this hotel, somebody else wrote about that trip or whatever, and then you just tag it based on various variables.
In the more sophisticated version of it, we already mark the places in our own CMS without having to write it in the table and to upload it in the fusion table.
Okay. All right.
Great. No? Another question.
So, maybe a remark. So you showed us a certain flow of views, and it started with your user arriving to your first page.
Yeah.
How do they arrive to your first page?
I think the best way to arrive to this is just what do I do on the. Do you know the site of how much to give for a wedding or something like that? So it's supposed to be something like that. It's as simple as what do I do on my anniversary, and then you get to the site. mark those three.
But how do I get to? Do I do what? Do I write? What do I do for my anniversary on Google?
Yeah.
And then that's what I'm getting.
I think I don't know which words
we're
people are
hoping-
searching for when they look for things like that. And can check, but
So
I know I've done it many times. Ideas for ideas for birthday, ideas for.
I think it's important to understand like what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses, and your strength is the editorial perspective, the fact that you're not just some aggregator that
Yeah.
has nothing to do with content online. You're connected to the content itself. You can do human editing and not just algorithmic editing. But that should, in my view, also be the point of departure. So
Yeah, we were not sure if because there are benefits and advantages and disadvantages to using experts and expertise in our content. So we weren't sure if we should start there in this point that you're saying, or with the aggregator thing.
At the end of the day, we want to get content that has no corresponding content from Israeli.
Yeah, that's the idea.
So that's a limit that you have, but that's also an advantage. And I think that your flow didn't support that advantage because it started from the assumption that I will get there from Google. While what's more realistic is that I would get through your content in Israeli.
Although it almost never happens today. Not only our website, but at all. I think this kind of.
Okay, a big round of applause for Israel Ayam.
Can we put it at the end?
Yeah, sure. And now it's our only university team. It's Thomas, the College of Finance and Academic Study. He's the only student.
Okay, we are the students team. My name is Ella. This is Ran and Stas. Okay. We've created an application that's called News from You. It connects between non-journalists and newsroom. So sometimes people around the world can find themselves in the middle of a news story. Okay, you can see here, yesterday was a big fire in Los Angeles, and one of our users were in this area. So he took a picture. It can be with his phone, with his smartphone, with the iPad, with anything, and he sent it through the application. It's good for an event when the media can't get the place on time. When I see the fire and I see it now and I use the application and take a picture of it, and it's before all the media knows about it, and so in this case, our GPS-based application is going to connect between the newsroom and the simple citizen. And this is what the newsroom see. This is the application. You can see the map, and I see here in Los Angeles something happened. Okay, so I can click on this place, and then I can see what our users send us. One of them sent this picture, one sent this picture, and I can choose. And only if I choose to use one of this picture, I need to pay to the one who sent me this picture. If I don't use the picture, I don't pay him or not give him credit or anything. And only the newsroom can see all the pictures and all the places the other users can't see it. Okay. So the media's agenda is to get the information, the pictures or the videos from scenes that impossible to attend on time. And the simple citizen, if the media chose to use his file, is get money or sometimes only credit. We don't think about it so far. And if the news organization want to buy the media from the picture or the video from the simple citizen, they pay with bitcoins. Okay, so it's very simple. And there can be another situation when the newsroom alerts the nearest app's users to respond. For example, I know that now something happened in Nepal, okay, and I have user in Nepal, and I want him to send me a picture or video of the event. So I alert, and only the user that's in the place get the alert, and they can take a picture and send it to me, to the newsroom. And if the users use the application, we can prevent faking. So we can, Ran can tell you about the technology. It's something very simple that prevent faking. You want to maybe after.
I don't know if they understand it, but as algorithm and or things like that, we can ensure the file if you take the video or the picture with our app, we can ensure that when you send it to the newsroom, it was not tempered.
Okay. And our target audience is also newsroom. So if one of you want to buy this app, you can buy it. And a lot of users around the world that use smartphone and want to get money or be famous.
Have you checked the competition?
Do
you know?
Yes, there is the הקו החם של חדשות ערוץ 2, הקו האדום. איך זה נקרא?
The red mail.
The red mail. But it's very complicated because it's a lot of bureaucratic things or things like this. And we have also the AP, Reuters, all these news.
What about citizen journalism applications like the one CNN did? Have you checked it?
This one's no, but
I hope this is not the same.
our application is very easy to use, and the bitcoins is very it's very easy.
I think easy.
I'll tell you something. An application like this, when it becomes successful, it becomes almost unusable. Because if you get 10,000 people sending pictures, and you have to sift through them, it might be that one picture is amazing and you don't 10,000. At that point, if you get 10,000 all around the world, you're going to need a hell of a lot of people, a number of photo editors to actually do that. It's been a lot of trial and errors in citizen journalism and in trying to use technology and, if you will, some kind of artificial intelligence to sift through them. And it might be something that you'll want to look into. So who's your competition and how you can bring something they don't have. And the one thing that is really missing in citizen journalism is filtering. So if you can start thinking about almost like an artificial intelligence journalism of how you filter between good photos and bad photos, exclusive photos and non-exclusive. If you can do that, you can save time for the editors and for the newsroom into immediately bringing them something that will be really unique and that nobody else has, then you're on to something.
Can I say something? We can do that by, I can see when I get a picture or video, I can see the coordinates of the GPS. I can know exactly where the picture or the video take from. and this is could be kind of filter. When
This day and
when
age,
I know this place happened.
it's not a problem of the place. It's a problem of what happens when you've got something, when you've got hundreds or thousands in some cases.
Okay,
photos
this is
coming through.
this is a learning machine. This is 10
I'm
steps.
just giving you a tip, that's all.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I can say that to continue from Leonid's point, yesterday I pointed you at looking at Ushahidi as a platform, as a relevant platform. One of the projects that came out of Ushahidi is called Swift River, and it's looking exactly at that. It's sifting. Now that we got the content, how do we quickly sift through it? How can we understand what is usable and what is not usable? How can we put it in context? So if you are going forward with this project, which has potential, and it's important to say, the fact that you have competition, it means that there's some relevance to the problem that you're trying to solve. But it's not really well solved yet, which is not another potential for you. But definitely you need to do a lot of homework that you don't have enough time to do in 2 days, but now you have more time to do it.
Okay, thank you very much.
And now it's time for Haaretz.
You're taking a chair.
Okay, so good evening. First of all, we would like to thank the Global Editors Network, Evangeline, Adas, Rowan, for inviting us to take part in this challenging experience. Now, let me show you what Avi, Eliyahu, and me, Yoav, have been working on for the past 2 days. In the past 9 years, we've had 3 election campaigns, and 2015 is just around the corner, and so is the 4th election campaign in Israel. And now many Israelis just find themselves asking, according to recent polls, 55% of Israelis have no interest at all in the upcoming elections. And most importantly, almost 30% of Israelis just have no idea who they're going to vote to. These reasons, in addition to lack of motivation and lack of trust in the candidates' true objectives, led to a decrease in the voting turnout in the past elections. So this is where we come in with Haaretz's Who Cares? One-Stop Shop Election App. Although designed for Israeli elections, we made sure that our app will be able to serve not only Haaretz but other newsrooms around the world. Our election app provides the Israeli voter with an innovative, insightful, and fun experience, aiming to make elections as important and as valuable as it really is. So now let me invite you to a journey. This is Eliyahu. Eliyahu started his journey in our app by asking Google the question most Israelis find themselves asking: where do I vote? In order to do so, Eliyahu needs to enter his social ID number. This is not his real number. After doing so, we will provide him with 2 options. The first one is to allow Haaretz to send him an email reminder of to the location of the polling station. The other option will be to show exactly on the map where his polling station is, and of course get the full directions on how to get there. Now that Eliyahu knows where is he voting, he just has to realize who is he going to vote to. For this, we have developed the campaign map. The campaign map will give Eliyahu an opportunity to compare between 2 candidates of his choice at once. He can choose 2 candidates. He can get to know each one of them better. He can follow their trail of campaign, their quotes, their comments, as reported by Haaretz's well-renowned reporters. On the map, he will also get the chance to see the candidate's social activity and other users' social activities that will be uploaded to the map by specific hashtags provided by Haaretz to the campaign managers and to the users. In order to get a better perspective of who really cares about Eliyahu, he can also compare the campaign trails in perspective of previous elections results. Here you can see on the map that Naftali Bennett's campaign efforts are located or focusing on central Israel and Tel Aviv area, whereas Yitzhak Herzog's efforts are focusing on the Gaza surroundings, in which each party got less votes in the previous election. This map, we believe, gives a clear picture for the user of who really cares about him, or who really cares about you. On election day itself, we will show and introduce the first ever mood map of the Israeli public. By using the email reminder we send to our users,
1 minute.
By using the email reminder we send to the users, we will ask them to let us know after voting by a simple mobile app on how they feel. They can tell us they feel happy or optimistic, frustrated, or even feisty. After doing so, you can share it with us using social networks, adding pictures or statuses. But the most important thing is that they vote. So who cares? We care. How about you?
I really like your heat map, the campaign trail thing. I thought that was really cool and kind of like throw to things that Nate Silver does or did at the New York Times on 538. I'm just trying to think, for me as a reader of Haaretz, for that matter, I think you've got amazing infographics that you can glean out of it, and if you could find a way to get the users to really interact and add more than just get his, because what you're doing here is what you're telling me is find out where you're voting, which I'll probably not do until the day I need to vote.
So basically, we realized that, like, in 2013, we saw that, like, we got many traffic from Google and Facebook of users asking where to vote, even prior to the election, and like 50% of the users that we got from Google were new users, like not even Haaretz's users.
Okay, that's
So it's a
cool.
question relevant 2 weeks prior to
I'm just thinking out loud, but I think the one thing, I'm just thinking from a user's point of view, how would you get me to engage a little more so that you can get all that information? Because I think you've got a great tool if you've got that information, like, for example, the campaign trail map. That's very insightful to show that that is focusing on that area and that person's focusing on the other in real time. I think that's great editorial, you know? I mean, if I went to Haaretz and there was this live map, that I would see this regardless of that. Yeah, I think it's great. I'm not giving you suggestions or anything. I'm just, thinking out loud that I would probably, as a user, not find a lot to do with this app other than finding where I vote and then saying after I voted how I feel. So maybe just, integrated with social media, show me tweets, show me, whatever, Facebook, my friends where they're voting, whatever, I'm just saying.
I think our idea was to, like, get all the news that we provide to the users, both Haaretz's editorial side and the social networks side, and just to put it all not on the homepage of Haaretz or the news section, and on a map, and like get a sense.
I agree with you completely. I'm just saying that as perhaps as a side product, you've got a great tool that could provide you amazing editorial products. So I'm just saying, find a way to engage the user so that you can get that information nonstop. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and I guess there's so many filters you can add to the map, showing where the community is. Maybe also to show how, like, the campaign trail change. If you've got the schedule of the candidate, You can show how the campaign trade changed because of the opinion polls.
Yeah.
There's so much thing to do, I think.
I think I agree that this is like the highlight of what you're offering here, because it gives me an insight that I didn't have before. That is valuable. It's telling a story. It's telling a story more than the other parts of your app that are more like tools.
Service.
Like yeah,
It's a service.
Now, I understand why you want to make it an app, because it's a nice way of framing things. But my rule of thumb is it doesn't need to be an app unless it has to be an app. So if it can be a web page, a mobile web page,
Yeah.
it should definitely be one. And I didn't see why this one shouldn't be a mobile web page. And then enjoy everything that like linking, like everything that you can enjoy from the web. The one thing that I would give you two more things. When you were presenting, I had this initial thing that I wanted to see this thing, which, obviously I'm looking forward to it, which is a plus for you. And the second thing, in an event like this, and this is for everybody, when your medium at the end of the day is a presentation, putting a lot of effort on the presentation is a good call, and you've done that. So
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Voila, please.
make it sound like a voice.
So I'm Amir, Yehuda and Karen from our team in Walla. We were also concerned with the upcoming elections, but we took a bit of a different angle, more focused on one aspect of them. Riki Cohen, remember her? She's a mythological, imaginary character in Israeli politics. 2 years ago, she voted for Yair Lapid. Allegedly. She's very much concerned, most of all, in cost of living and real estate prices. So obviously, these coming elections, she's not going to vote for Yair Lapid again. She's very disappointed. And now she's contemplating who to vote for. It can be, she's thinking maybe of Likud, maybe Avodah, maybe Israel Beitenu. And she's not sure which one. She doesn't know. The media doesn't give her the answers to the questions that interest her. And what she wants is to actually meet the candidates and ask them the questions that concern her. So what is she going to do? We'll put Riki Cohen aside for a minute. We're going to help her with her problem in a couple of minutes. And like her, there are probably hundreds of thousands of Israelis that have the same problem. They're not getting answers. They want to actually talk to the candidates and get answers for their questions. The politicians and the parties know that, and every election, from election to election, we see this more and more. They hold thousands of election events, some of them big on a large scale, like demonstrations and conventions, but most of them on a small scale, what we call Chugei Bayit, you've all heard of them. There are thousands of these. Each party has probably hundreds and many different locations where politicians come and speak to the public in small groups. The parties make great efforts to publish these events and bring them to the public. The media helps with that. What we would typically see in previous elections on news websites would be like calendars of events where you can scroll, move from date to date and see what dates are planned. And, what we decided to do here is add, instead of putting this in a calendar, put it in a fusion table and add a map. Here you can see our political calendar for these elections. There are just a few fake events here, but you can see that there are two major filters. You can filter different parties, and you can see the different parties' colors, events colors. You can filter dates and also range of dates, or see all upcoming dates, or all upcoming events, or all events. And you can, for example, you can see in Sderot you have a convention of the Likud with Danny Danon and friends. Or here in Givatayim you have Moshe Mizrahi from Avodah and Yechud Bayit. Also, each party has a different color. You can see this icon that represents a multi-party event. For example, here in Kiryat Shmona, you have a panel of symposium of 4 different parties and the representatives on the Hezbollah threat. Now, this is, first of all, a great service to the public. People can go. These are just a few events, but of course, in actual life, there'll be hundreds and thousands of them, and people can find all the events relevant in their area. Like Vicky Cohen, who doesn't have a car, and it's difficult for her to get to places, but if she easily finds everything in Hadera.
1 minute.
Okay. This is also, it has a great journalistic value for the newsroom. First of all, it helps plan ahead when you see every day geographically which events are planned, and you can send your teams there. And also, you get a lot of data as an exploratory map. Eventually, a little bit like Haaretz show too, you'll be able to map the campaigns, compare to actual results, add layers. We go back to Ricky Cohen. This is what she did. This is more like what the product is actually going to look like. She focused on Hadera. She filtered Likud, Avodah, and Israel Beitenu, which is the party she's interested in it. And then she can browse. For example, here, this is a symposium which involves the 3 parties she's interested in, but it's on the infiltration law, so it's probably not going to go there because it's not a main interest for her. She's more interested in cost of living. And this is what the actual product will look like.
I have a suggestion for you. Okay, I think both of you guys, Alex and you, are starting to get the idea that politics is also about geography, etc. And you took Ricky Cohen, which is an example. I don't think Ricky Cohen, for that matter, would come in, look through the map, etc. I think what would be a great idea is if you allowed Ricky Cohen to have some kind of a service, since you're doing this, that will alert her when her favorite politician or all of those politicians are coming to speak in her neighborhood. So if you've already got this ability to put into a map a time and a place and a politician who's going to appear in Irua, for that matter, then why not utilize what you already do really well in WADA, which is alerts, and connecting the user and letting you know. Yes. Because I think you're counting here on the user coming in and looking all over the map. You got to be really a big activist if you want to know where Ben is going to be everywhere. And I think most users are passive, but they will like to know when Lapid is going to be in their neighborhood or when Bennett, exactly. And that will also give you, as a byproduct, an amazing information, because if you've got users putting in their zip code and who they want to listen to, then you could actually do service to politicians as well, if you will, because then if there's a lot of people who are interested in hearing Bennett for them in Hadera, you'll go there, So it's a way, just something for you to think about how to make it a little, the service a little better, and also for you to glean information out of it from the user.
First of all, I want to say you've shown us something that is a bit more advanced than a mock-up, which is commendable. Obviously, in the time frame that you had, you're only scratching the surface and seeing what of your initial assumptions don't work. But still, putting an effort there is valuable. I'll just a bit on what Bironit has said. You haven't used geography as a context. You used it as like spreading like the data that you have. While if I'm connecting, whether if it's from a mobile phone or or a computer, you can see where I'm at right now and give me that as a context, which is automatically something that the user really appreciates, because then you're doing some of the work for them already. You can also start telling them a story, but rather than confronting them with data, tell them a story. Give them an agenda. You're here. In 3 days from now, this person is coming. That person is coming. Yeah. Make a story out of the data, which is the first. I believe should be the next step for what you're working on, which is interesting, useful, and valuable.
Thank you. Outbrain, please. Outbrain.
Okay. I think Elio shows. I just came back from New York, and I've been there for quite a while. And one day I was wandering in Central Park, just reading a book. Suddenly I saw a platform being built. It's in the middle of Central Park. And I was just nearby, and I asked for the security guard, what was it? He told me, like, don't you read the news, man? There's a mass concert going on. There's Jay-Z and Beyonce and whatever, all the famous singers. So I was like, okay, cool, but why didn't I think about reading CNN or reading whatever American newspaper just to see the upcoming events? So let me talk a bit about the boss. How we see the boss is our reader. He knows what's best for him. He's the reason we are alive as a publisher, and if we make mistakes, he feels it the most. He feels like there's plenty of data out there that is being unused. He feels like the publisher is just one place that provides facts, it provides objective stories, but it doesn't feel the intimate relation between him and the publisher. Let me tell you another problem, is the problem from the editor side. Editors are commonly write some great piece of content, like this article. That's a truly great piece of content. It's from Time Out. It was written, if you see it, from November. It took me 15 minutes to find it on the web. It just got lost. I mean, once I read it in November, it got buried under lots of articles, and it's basically gone. So we're in press. We're here to provide a location-based content project. We built it entirely from scratch. Sorry. What we do is we crawl for articles. We fill it. We take the geodata from there. We map it in our engine, automatic engine, of course, and then we provide the user with notifications once he gets near the legibly interest point. So probably the editors of you might say, "Oh, we got so much code inside the article. Do we need to enter some meta tags? Do we need to map our articles? Do we need to do some extra work for it, for some coding work?" So we say no. We got a fully external engine that runs only on the URL. It scans the website as it was a regular user. It crawls the data. It maps it according to Google's geocoder. Then it saves it in some kind of a database behind the scenes. So time for a demo. We got here an interesting article, again from the Time Out. It talks about a few common restaurants or good restaurants in Tel Aviv. Really great piece of content. What we do here is we take the URL. We use our engine. We put the URL of the article in here, and we tell our engine to crawl the document and see what geolocations there are in the article. So we found here a couple of streets, a couple of restaurants, etc., etc. What we can do, we know our algorithms and crawling abilities are not perfect, so we provide a manual option for editors to just move around and see, get it right. Okay, once we get it right, we store it in our database and we save it as a location. So now,
this is for the editor.
Yes.
Just to enter the URL of the article, And that's it.
And he will give you all the information.
Yeah. We crawled. It's already working. It's functional.
Yeah, it's fully functional. So now there's an end user. End user goes around in his street. He doesn't know Tel Aviv too well. He asks for recommendations.
And then I only need to wait like 3, 2, 1.
Just close the screen. Close the screen.
Minus.
Once again. No, once again.
Okay, sorry.
We got it the demo.
Yeah, sorry.
You have it prayed for.
You're walking in the footsteps of the greats now.
Close the screen.
No pressure.
5, 4, 3,
Here you go.
2,
You got
yeah,
something.
1.
There you go.
Ah.
We got a notification saying Hein Cohen's restaurant, which is really close by. It's here. When you open the notification, you can see the article, the recommendations, the actual place. And
How
now
would
what
I
you
get
get,
this? But why would he get this? Because he asked.
because he was near here. Yeah, he
I
asked.
went by Hein Cohen's restaurant.
Oh,
And,
yeah,
and there's an
just those
article.
pop-ups for everywhere you go by that has an article.
Oh, specifically here, he asks for the recommendations.
He asked for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what we get here is a happy boss, which is the reader, of course. He knows he got the relevant content for him. He knows he got the best recommendations, and the editor can know that content wasn't lost. Thank you.
I'll split it into two. Okay. First of all, I like your presentation. I mean, there's an idea there for sure. One thing I really liked was your map. This is, you say it's already functional and it's already working, because I can tell you from my experience in newsrooms, you want to get the least amount of work for the editor. They're even going to groan about this, the fact that after adding every article, they need to put a link somewhere and click on it. So if you can somehow integrate into the CMS, is a step further. It's
As an RSS feeder, we already.
because it's a plugin into a CMS. It's not a plugin into a front end. So that as soon as an article is published, it automatically already shows the user the editor all the places and saves him that another step that he has to remember to do. Okay, if you will. But I like the technology and I like the idea behind it. The one thing I didn't get, and I'm sorry, that's the end user's part, is I kind of stopped liking getting all those pop-ups on my screen. I get pop-ups from, sorry guys, Walla, Haaretz, Mako, and that TripAdvisor and whatever. And at some point I started shutting them down one after the other because they've stopped being, it's an overflow of notifications. And I'm trying to figure out, and I couldn't from your presentation, I'm sure you've thought about it, but I'm trying to figure out how do you streamline it and make it useful for the user, not in a way that it spams him, if you will, and in a way that accurately knows what it is that he wants. I don't want to pass by every single restaurant and get a pop-up, or every single shop and get a pop-up. So that's the one thing I couldn't figure out from your presentation.
I can answer. That's a question that was raised by Evangeline a couple of days ago. Yesterday, sorry. It's so long.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, it feels like a week. And originally we tried to do it in a push way. Then Evangeline said, "Oh, I get so many push notifications. It would be so spammy."
Okay.
So we actually did it, in a pull way. So we open the one
Which is the TripAdvisor one. Show me recommended.
Like I'm here. What's interesting around me?
What was recommended?
So the only difference between what TripAdvisor is doing and what you're doing is that TripAdvisor is using user-generated content and you're using editorial content. That's what you're saying.
We're using the reviews you can get.
And would it be possible to subscribe to certain channel if I only interested in the garden content and very snobbish, and I just want to have this pop up on my screen? It's possible.
Of course. The idea was to do some kind of a plugin or an extension, if you like. Yeah. We have a few liner installation for the mobile app. Like Ynet can implement their own, and Haaretz can implement their own.
Okay.
Every newspaper can implement their own. And if we had more time, we could actually filter out through categories. Like I'm not that interested in ballet, but I really like sports.
Listen, I really apologize, but I have to tell you, I think your strength is in that algorithm, and I think your strength in that, and I think and Outbrain's strength is, by the way, it's a algorithm, and it's the fact that it has such a huge user base that it can glean from their experience, what they're doing, what they're thinking of, what they're reading, etc. But I think from everything you've said here, really the biggest strength you have is an addition to a content management system. That's a wow. Otherwise, you're a TripAdvisor. Seriously, I mean that's what you got to think
It's
about.
definitely the next phase.
Competing with TripAdvisor or Google now is
The main issue for us was to bring a value to the publisher side.
Then in that case,
but
to map
for that you need to bring the value through the publishers, and because if I'm exactly like Evangeline said, if I'm a customer or a reader of The Guardian, whatever, I'll be looking through that perspective and want to get an echo of the content that I'm already familiar with. Now that it's relevant to me, so I think you have it there. It's just a matter of kind of skewing the perspective a bit to not seem like just another TripAdvisor, just another Google now.
But what Daniel mentioned in like 2 sentences, one of the things we couldn't implement in this time, but it was like to provide a simple piece of code for like YNET app, so that I think most of us have it, so they can integrate this ability into their app. So once you're going in the street, you can get a notification from YNET that you have and use, and get the geo-based content. That was the main issue wasn't a standalone app, was as an additional ability to
which
other
is what
apps.
you do right now with AdVerse's recommendations.
Exactly.
You don't have a standalone website or app. You provide
Exactly.
But would a standalone app be possible? Like,
It's easier to implement, but it's I think it's there's no justification for that. There's thousands of other applications that can push you to spam.
okay, great. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
And now our second startup, Weebits, please.
Also a sound here. Have sound.
Oh, yeah, I think you can maybe.
So we will use the Mac sound and hope for good. Okay, good evening. Before I joined Weebits 1 year and a half ago, I was a journalist for many years, and one of the problems that I always dealt with was my inability to get real, immediate news footage from the scenes, from the reporters I sent to the scenes. So, Weebits for Journalists, that is the product. No, go back to the Weebits for Journalists. This is the tool that we built. Was meant to deal with this problem. The journalists don't have the tools to quickly make on-site videos, and also with the problem that global newsrooms don't have a way to distinguish news trends in real time. The solution we find is a tool that I will demonstrate very soon that give the reporters the ability to visualize news in real time and use maps to visualize it. Of course, the audience of our tool are the reporters and their newsrooms. I'll demonstrate it here in the iPad in order to demonstrate the mobility of the tool, but you can see the screenshots there. All I have to do if I'm a reporter in the scene is just to type the text that I would like to put in and to create a clip out of it, and also to take some images or videos from the scene. In this case, I'm taking image from here, of all of us, and uses the image, and the text is about this event. I'm clicking the create button, and now the clip is being created automatically. While the clip is being created, it sends the location information to our dashboard map, which will be open soon. As you can see, clip is being created, and a pinpoint in Tel Aviv has just been established here, specifically in our place. And this is the clip we've just created with the image that I've just taken through the iPad. And you can see the clip.
The Global Editors Network Editors Lab program is a worldwide series of hack days hosted by leading news organizations. Today, we are in Tel Aviv for a 2-day hackathon, developing innovative news prototypes to get journalists a better use of maps. Evangeline de Bourgogne from the Global Editors Network told participants that winners will present their prototype at the Global Editors Network Summit in Barcelona. 8 teams from local media organizations took part in the Global Editors Network Hackathon.
And really, as you kind of look around the map, you can see that there are more clips that journalists have created around. So there's a few clips being generated in Jerusalem. And it kind of creates also like a news trend. So we can actually see the news trends and big events that are going on around the world. So as you can see, there's a lot of stuff going on around the East Coast in the United States. And really, as I zoom into it, you can see that, for instance, in DC.
Okay, you can just click on one of the Weebits pins.
And see that there are more clips. This is specifically a clip about Obama. And I won't play the whole thing, but you get the gist. And another clip from the White House. And really, I could get like a whole global view of trends that are going on around the world. So there's a clip here about Ebola, and there's.
You can see the specific location. You see Monrovia, Liberia, and the time the clip was created. And the bigger the bubble is the most news clips are related to this specific area. Okay, so the benefits of the tool is to get immediate video clip from any scene around the world, as we demonstrated through the mobile platform, and a few seconds to generate video, and including, of course, video and images from the scene, and immediate info about trends as they happen to help the newsroom identify it. Thank you.
So one remark and one question. First of all, it's a very, very interesting tool. I'm not really sure that your map will really show what are the trends, because for me, it will really show how adapted your tool is, you know. The
map and tool in the first place is meant for newsroom. And if you're a big newsroom like Reuters, New York Times, AP, and you give the tool to your reporters worldwide, they will take the videos from the scene and you get the dashboard, the information in the dashboard for yourself. You're right that if all the public will use it, and it's possible if we decide to use the public, you can get eclipse around the world, and you don't get to identify trends, but you can go identify where are a lot of clips are being created right now. In West Coast, or if you see in Guinea, just one.
So I guess I just want to know what is new, what has been created during this hack days, because I guess that you're already developing the tool at Weebits at the moment. And I guess what did you add? What was the innovation added during the hack days?
So the only ability we used that we brought from Weebits was the ability to turn text into video. But here we developed the 2 web pages that were presented, the one with the Google Map and the one for mobile devices that Uri was using to enter the text and take a photo and create the video with. So
right now, if I just want to make it right now, Weebits, the algorithm can analyze the web article and extract it and create a video. The ability to type a text, take some videos, and generate it to one clip, Chen developed here, and the geolocation from the specific device to pop up in the map, as you said, the map, Chen and Daphne were designed developed here.
Okay.
I'm not a big fan of map as a way of showing content. I think the amount of time it takes you to zoom into places and then click and look for, I'm never going to do that. And if I'm an editor, I don't have time to do that. I would much rather see just a list, seriously, just a list of headlines with photos next to them and click on something. I don't think a map is a really good way of navigating through content. in that respect. I couldn't really see the benefit of putting it on the map. I'm sorry. I like your technology. I know Whippets, from, as she said, I mean, I know your capabilities and we can work with you on various websites to be transparent. And I like your idea of taking it to the next step and saying, okay, I'm going to write something and add photos to it, and within seconds I've got a sort of a video or an animated report. And I think actually that could be really nice for, you know, I think people would like it from Facebook as well. You know, I mean, I just came back from a bar mitzvah and I do that or whatever. From a news point of view, I'm a little skeptic. I have to say, I know that this is the future. I'm being old school about it. That robotic kind of, a logarithmic kind of way of taking a story. I know that there's places where this has caused problems with a name of a famous rabbi being the same as the name of a famous porn star, and suddenly pictures of that famous porn star went into the article. So I'm not a huge fan of it, but I realize that this is the future, so best of luck to you guys.
Thank you.
So I agree that your map is not doing the work that it needs to do yet, but I think I want to single out the moment that did work with the map, which was a moment of creation, and that's when the crowds went this way. And this is still magic. It might not stay magic for too long, but it's still magic to see you holding this and then.
That's not without the map. It could be without a map.
It's
the whoa.
It's like us being here, this knowing that we're here.
Yeah, but
this is giving context. So I actually think that the map
part of this hackathon.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. I think you wanted to tie them together, but I don't think that.
I actually think that the map was a part of the wow moment there because it gave kind of a reassurance to the place we're in and things like that. But that's as far as it went. Because from there on it was your technology, which is impressive and so on. But if you're trying to elevate the map aspect, you shouldn't go with Google Maps. Google Maps wasn't helping you here. It really didn't fit your icons, your clusters. It made it harder to read. It's not the map that you need for this thing. I think if your map would have been design-wise different and more like you don't need as much like labels and data as Google Maps has, and as something that is very visual, like everything else about your product is so visual. Your map is a moment of we know that we know this visual. Like Google Maps is taking over your brand, and with a brand like this, you can't afford to have that.
Well, obviously, this is not a finalized product, and we just use Google Maps as something that I know how to use, and just
definitely
to pull it out of my pocket.
Going forward.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Ynet, please.
Okay. Hi, I'm Dol from Ynet. This is going to be short and simple. And forgive me for the yellow. It's supposed to be green, but with the lighting, it's a bit yellowish. For those of you of the jury who don't live in Israel, one of the biggest traditions in Israel before holidays is going shopping, especially before Rosh Hashanah and Passover. Another tradition before the holidays is newspapers making articles comparing your shopping in different chains, different supermarket chains. Usually, it's always the same. They take a generic average shopping cart and show you how much it costs in each chain. Usually, it looks something like this. very simple to use and user friendly, and gives you a lot of information in a very comfortable way. This is not an article from the 1980s. This is from Passover 2014. We can stop it. We can stop that now with our tool, which you've just seen. Basically, what we offer is a user-friendly and simple interface, a map visualization of the supermarkets near you and their average prices, and a graphic visualization of the different product prices. You start with this screen, simply enter your address. This comes in the same article that shows you the comparison between the different shopping carts. You enter your address, you get something like this. It tells you how long it takes you to get there, what's the price you're going to pay for the average shopping cart, and once you click on one supermarket, it shows you this. The prices of each product. We use the simple database of 10 products from real data. You can use a larger database with more time. And it shows you the prices and where they stand on a scale between the lowest price we found and the highest price we found. Live, it looks like this. For example, Hadas, she's here. She lives in Yokneam. I'm not judging, yes? So we're gonna write Yokneam. What we get is the nearest supermarkets within an hour drive. We get the nearest supermarkets near her house. Now she can see she gets 21 to 25 minutes to get here, and it's cheaper than the other ones. So that's probably the best choice. But what if you want to check the different products? She can simply click on this. It will show exactly where it is and the prices as they are shown on a scale of the lowest to highest price. We close this and we get back to our map. If we want to start over, we just click a new search and we start all over again with the new address. Of course, with further development, we can let you adjust the shopping cart you're using. You can pick the products we have a large enough database. We can also add a feature that lets you search within the products to see a comparison of just one product or more. And the same engine we use, the engine basically works on Google Maps. We took the branches of the supermarket chains that are already on Google Maps. The time estimations are based on Google Maps also. The same engine can be used can be applied for other stuff. For example, if we want to check how expensive are the kindergartens next to my home, and how long will it take me to get there walking with my kid, for example. And that's it.
I'm sorry because I'm not very familiar with it. How is this different from My Supermarket?
My Supermarket, what it takes is data from supermarkets that are online.
Yeah.
This is not supermarkets that are online. This is the discount. We took only discount supermarket chains, the ones that are compared every year before Passover and Rosh Hashanah.
So I'm not sure. I'm sorry.
My
I need
supermarket
to go and do some
lets you.
shopping. Why would I go here and I don't follow?
No, every year when before Passover and Rosh Hashanah,
This is
you
just
get
for Passover and Rosh Hashanah?
Yes.
Okay. All
You
right.
get
So
that's
it's not
what
a daily thing.
No, it's not a daily thing. This is used the same like the article newspapers that show the table. They collect the data as it is before Rosh Hashanah and Passover. They take the discount supermarket because people do a lot of shopping, and the data is already collected today. Just today, it's shown in a table. It doesn't show me it in a very user-friendly way. This way, I can take the same data, embed this map in the article, search for my address, and get the supermarkets near me. How long will it take me to get there, and the price. This accompanies an article that is already published today, published twice a year, basically.
I think what you started off by saying that the presentation, that table, was really old school, very uninteractive, not very helpful, etc. But then you took it somewhere else, and I'm thinking you need to find the middle ground, because I actually think that table is useful when it's in print. When it's online, I need to be able to interact with it. I need to, compare what I want to.
Yeah, of course. The point is we wanted
I'm just
adjust
saying.
it.
I'm just saying that the point you started with, which is saying we need to improve this age-old comparison table that we've had, and then you ended with what is essentially a driving direction that I can get on Google. I think you need to find a way to better
It's not just
editorialize it.
It's not just driving directions.
I'm not arguing.
I think the point that I understand about what the offering is like the way to your context is that average cart for the specific holiday.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the anchor for the whole story. It's not it wasn't like front and center enough in the presentation maybe, but because what we're seeing is something that looks as if it's about to answer much more questions than this very simple question, and this is kind of a lesson in general. If you're making something that does this small thing very well, don't wrap it in something that looks as if it would be doing other things. And then I understand. And then and if that's where you're focusing, then do that one thing very, very well. Tell me about this card. Don't just write like cucumber. Show me a cucumber.
No, we didn't have time to work on that.
This is my tweet from today. Don't. Yeah. And anyway, the point is, I think this tool is actually valuable, and I think this idea is actually interesting, and I would love to stumble upon just another article like this, and then be surprised by this tool that is actually much more sophisticated than I expected. But the way you presented something that promises a lot of sophistication, but is kind of much more minimal. So your minimalism is good, but you need to align to this minimalism and take advantage of the fact that you're focusing on something very, very minimal. It's not data driven. It's not going to give me answer on every product. It's going to drill into this cart and then give me that experience of the cart. This is really missing. Now, another point that I have to make.
Can I just answer about that one?
I'll just make the balance between the green and red, like you missed me.
Yeah, it's supposed to be the other way around.
Yeah, and there was no axis there to orient me towards the zero or the extenses. So
okay.
It seems like something you didn't have enough time to spend on. So
yeah, that was probably it. About the average card, just to answer that. This was built with data from an average card, like the comparisons are done today in websites and newspapers. With a large enough database, we didn't have time to build a large enough database. You can manipulate this average card and take out things you don't want and use only the products that interest you. It doesn't take much development to do that.
I understand. I'm saying the opposite. I'm saying it's good that you have a very limited card. It's good that
yeah, that's the point.
But then this is an advantage. If your approach is not I'm going to cover an endless database, then take the advantage of showing me the card, giving me a much more advanced experience than just this general thing that's supposed to answer every possible question.
No, again, this is supposed to accompany an article that gives you the information about the average card, how it was built, and the tables. It's accompanying the tables and the article itself.
So what is the cherry on the cake? Last but not least,
it's energy.
Where's it? Energy. The cherry on the cake. Come on. C'est drôle.
So, I'm Yoav. I'm from Energy. Happy to be here and to present Safe As. I'm sorry that I'm the last and everything here was fun and groovy, and we have something less happy, but accidents, car accidents, what do we do about them? So we see all the time constructions and things, and you want to know, did the construction made in the road on the way to your work, is it made the road safer? Is the zebra crossing just around your house as dangerous as you think? Does the speed cameras on Route 1, did they change something? Well, Safe has got all the answers. Since Waze burst into our lives, when we want to check which way to go home, we only take the time as an element to choose. But Save As is different, and it's supposed to help you. We all know that there are roads that are more dangerous than others, junctions that are more dangerous than others, and can we really know where they are? Yes, we can. Using a large database about car accidents all over Israel in the last 10 years, Safe As recommends you the road that there were less accidents occurred in during that time. So you go as a user, you go and you choose, we have directions. Let's say I'm going from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. I type this and then I get the map, which every road has a different car according to the number of car accidents that were on that road. And you get the safety meter, which says how safe is that road. If I want to go on other routes, I go to other routes and get road 1, which goes that way, road 3 goes that way, and road 2 goes this way. I have time, kilometers, and the safety grade of this road. But we didn't want to. This is like a user interface, but there are also. This is useful also for newsrooms. How? If a journalist wants to explore an area, he goes to explore, and he types an area he wants to explore, and he sees what roads there are red, like dangerous, more accidents happening there, and what roads are more junctions is safer. Once you get the full picture, you can decide if you want to publish a story, if you want to investigate why there are so many accidents in that place. So, but you can also know it by time, like from 2003 to 2014, I want to see what happened just around the building, let's say Hashalom interchange. I want to see it through time, so I type Hashalom interchange, Tel Aviv, go. I see that this is a red road, and there were a lot of accidents there. But was it that way all the time? Oh, I'm going to this, and I see that within time it was changed from orange to red on 2009. What happened in 2009? I don't know. I'm gonna investigate that, and I discovered that on that year, big TV commercial screens were placed in the junction. So here we have a story, a place to start, or a place to start the story. Also, this picture you can see what was the big accident there, and see the article that was on Energy and the map embedded into the article. So to summarize, SafeAs can be useful for drivers and pedestrians to choose their way, and for journalists to explore and discover new stories. And in fewer words, SafeAs saves lives.
For me, it would be interesting to add another layer of information. It would be interesting to see what is the impact of the government investment in roads, and to see if it has changed anything. If for example, they built a new roundabout.
That's exactly the graph we made.
Mm-hmm.
So if you know there were construction on specific place, you can check that place during the through time and see if the for bad, for good, you can get the answer.
Okay. I think it's a really cool tool for research, whether you're a journalist or not, for that matter. You need to research an issue which relates to traffic and relates to transportation and safety, and I think it's a really cool tool for research. I think maps are really good for that as a starting point. As opposed to what I've said before, I actually think this is a good way to navigate. But no buts. It's a cool tool for research. I'll say this.
I agree. The point about getting the construction data is really important. It's not going to be easy though. Because this is not like this is a part of the challenges of public data, but it's definitely one that is worthwhile. And what you think you need to be careful of is the law of small numbers. So if you know, if on 1 year there were 6 accidents in Derech HaShalom, in comparison to 2 accidents, that might look like a spike, but so many cars are driving on that road.
We thought about it. Of course, you have to make this algorithm which calculates the number of traffic, the number of cars that flow in specific road. But also, you have to remember that because there are so many cars in that road, the chances for accidents are more significant. So the fact that there was more accidents at Derech HaShalom than the streets here below is reasonable, because more people drive there, so it's more likely to happen.
Another note, I see the pedestrian.
Yeah, we have also a specific information database on accidents that occurred involving pedestrians. So you will be able to choose the safest road for a pedestrian and the safest road for a car. Also explore a specific area with this value.
So I actually think that the case study of the pedestrian and the biker, like the bicycle, is more potent than the one of the car, for the simple reason that I find it hard to believe that commuters and people driving cars would make the decisions based on that. But as a parent,
I was about to say.
A parent and a biker, I would definitely. I would definitely look at something like this and take that into account.
We had two thoughts about that. One is that in a car, it's not like every time I leave work, I log into Waze, look where should I go. It's a one-timer that you look what is the dangerous spots in your way to work. There you have to be more take extra care when you drive. And for pedestrians and also bikers, I was about to say that for parents it could be very useful.
Okay.